What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Gamerhouse Marathon, happening over here on NASA. And we got Zero here with a very epic, legendary even, not actually,
I
Halo
don't know
3
about
ODST. But yeah, take it away, Zero.
Alright, my name is Zero. This is Halo 3 ODST on the easy difficulty. Time will start at the end of this loading screen. So, any day now. And go. Alright,
Good luck.
so thank you. So we start off ODST, basically taking a nap, no joke, for 6 hours. And we wake up from the nap, and well, you're in this little drop pod on the side of a building. And ODSTs are not Spartans, but as you'll see here, I'm about to survive about a 25-30 feet drop. So, after I skip this tutorial here. But this is just like a little 44-second sort of auto-scroller thing right here. Not much going on. Basically holding E, trying to get out about 4 seconds early. Then immediately running over to the right, where I'm going to be hopefully having an optimal clear. So one thing you'll notice me doing here first, right off the bat, this is pretty big, is slide jumping. Essentially jumping off a slope gives you more speed. But right here, I'm throwing 2 grenades. Hopefully I'm getting all the enemies. 1 guy left, that's not a big deal. Good clear right there. Now there are 6 grunts here and 2 brutes, all of which need to die as fast as possible. That should be all the grunts, and then I'm going to backsmack these brutes. It's just the fastest way to kill him. And okay, I threw a spike grenade right through his armpit, but we're good, we got him. So now we're waiting for this phone here. And you'll notice as well that right off the bat, I'm going to be emptying my SMG here. The reason I do this is essentially it'll force weapon carryover, or rather it'll force no weapon carryover onto the next streets level. Essentially the Halo games since Halo 2 have a weapon carryover system where you carry over your loadout, I guess you could say, to the next level. Luckily, just trying to get rid of these grenades that I don't need. Luckily, in the case of ODST, where we want our full grenades at the start of each level, you're able to just empty your SMG or another weapon, and you get full grenades. So that's why I emptied my SMG. Essentially, it'll just respawn me with 3 new grenades, full ammo, and I will be emptying my SMG like on half the streets. So, but one thing you'll notice as well is most of these levels to start out with are very quick. In fact, there are 16 levels / stages in the game, and 2 of them make up about half the game. So you'll see quite a few levels. But right here we got Tayari Plaza. Right off the bat, I'm going to be going for a trick called Hog Launch here. Hopefully it'll go well. Essentially I throw 3 grenades. I'm trying to get a nice launch from this Warthog. It's not a very good one. Still probably saved about a second. Ideally you get launched all the way over there. That is not a marathon viable strat in the slightest, but I go for it anyway, because why not? And luckily I got 3 plasma grenades, which will help me out quite a bit with another trick I plan on going for here. But right here we're just going to be kind of walking. That is a highlight of this game, as you may notice. Walking to pick up some more grenades. We're going to do some grenade things, and a lot of tricks are about to happen. So first off, we are throwing a frag grenade. Jumps up here, throwing another frag grenade at the plasma coil. That gives us a boost. Not a very good boost, but that's okay. And then right here, we're going to be throwing a plasma grenade. This is why I wanted the plasma. Right there, and hopefully this box does exactly that. Gives me a nice boost. That is what you call a pressure launch. That trick specifically is called truck launch. And it's not very common throughout the game, but it's just a cool little trick. Essentially, your player gets squished, and instead of just like dying as you would in newer Halo games, you actually just kind of slide. So it's one of the main methods of getting a launch, I suppose. I'm hoping this guy had a plasma pistol. want to see if I get this guy to berserk. Unfortunately, he did not. And if he did berserk, he would have basically gone into this like rage mode where he hits me and gives me nice boost, but probably only saves about 2 seconds anyway. But right here, I'm essentially just going to be trying to get a nice slide here. That is a pretty nice slide, in fact. And we're just hitting this drop pod to end the level. And that's 2 levels done in about 4 minutes. Well, not including loads. But anyway, back on to Mombasa Streets. This is Mombasa Streets 1, or MS1. A little weird, because you remember we were just on Mombasa Streets, but we call the first Mombasa Streets Prepare to Drop, and we call Mombasa Street... I mean, well, we call what technically should be Mombasa Streets 2, Mombasa Streets 1. Don't know why, but it's just what we do, so go with the flow. Again, just emptying my SMG right away, and hopefully I get some plasma grenades from these grunts. That'll allow me to go for a trick. Okay, I got 1, so depending on how much health damage I take from this upcoming trick, we'll see if we can go for it. But what I'm going to be doing here is a debris launch. Essentially, I throw a grenade, and okay, so I didn't take really any health damage. Unfortunately, that was not a good launch. Probably still saved like half a second from that. Not the best though. And it's nice that we do have a plasma grenade, because it will allow us to be going for a trick at the end of the level. Additionally, this plasma pistol, we can hopefully get a berserking brute here, who can definitely save a few seconds, because these streets levels, especially until we get the Mongoose, are pretty much just walking with some tricks. No berserker, very unfortunate. But yeah, so I guess we'll just be walking, but I do have quite high health, so I will hopefully be able to hit this cool trick at the end of the level here, which would save quite a bit of time. But yeah, you'll see me going for right here with one of my... Actually, I lied, because I always forget to do this, but I don't want to use one of my grenades here, because I need all of these grenades. Coming up around this corner, I'm going to be going for a Coil Launch, where I basically throw a grenade at the coil, and the grenade blows up the coil, and both of those combined explosions, as you see here, gives me a pretty nice launch. We couple it with a slide jump on this slant, or slope rather, and it gets us some nice distance in a decent amount of time. And coming up at the end here, this trick I'm talking about is a double nade debris launch, where I'm going to be using a plasma grenade and a frag grenade. There's a chance I die, but I have a checkpoint, although the checkpoint is going to be like a 25-second revert, but it's a good thing my estimate is 118, because I should beat that by over 10 minutes, so hopefully. Right here I'm going to throw a plasma grenade, throw a frag. Looks like we did not die. That was actually still a decent launch, especially for full game. I made up about... yeah, I pretty much made up the time that I lost at the start. Ideally you get launched all the way to that button, but yeah, that's MS1. Now we're on Uplift Reserve. Cool level right here. Bit of RNG at the start, but hopefully all will go well. Right here, instantly, you know, jumping up onto these this upper ridge saves about 5 seconds, I believe. And then I'm going for a double nade grenade slide right here. Pretty solid. That's a yikes. I tried to throw a grenade to flip the Warthog, but it decided to bounce off the wheel well for some reason, so it's about 1.5 seconds of time loss, but no big deal. Right here, this is where the RNG kind of comes into play. I tried to go for a trick there, which I really shouldn't have, but I was feeling greedy, because that ghost, I was assuming, was going to flip me. And in those cases, you actually want to hijack the ghost instead of getting it here. It saves a little bit of time, but unfortunately it didn't flip me, nor did I get the ghost, so I basically just lost time there. But in any case, we're going for cliff climb right here. Not a hard trick, I wouldn't say, but it's kind of one of those main tricks that, you know, I guess most Halo runners know about in ODST. Saves a good amount of time, and the rest of this level, there are a few more cliff climbs, but nothing as complex as that one. And I mean, it looked pretty easy, but I can tell you that, especially when I was newer, it definitely is not the easiest trick in the game because you have to press a bunch of movement keys at certain times, and yeah, but going across the bridge, while this game is called W Simulator by some people, I'm not currently holding W, so joke's on them. You could actually just hold your boost key without holding W or forward on controller, and you still go forward. So right here I'm doing a few more cliff climbs, nothing too special, and then coming up on the end of the level here, almost anyway. Just, well, technically 2 more cliff climbs, one right here. Like I said, these ones are really simple. Then we got another one right here. Hopefully this will let me get right into the trigger. Pretty good end. And I actually saved about 2 seconds on that uplift, which is pretty good. So that is 2 seconds to my PB, which my PB is record. So anyway, right here, going for another double nade debris launch. Hopefully this one launches me right to the door. It did not. It saved some time, but unfortunately my second nade was a little bit off. Definitely still faster than not going for it at all. And once again, as always, emptying my SMG. We will be getting the Mongoose at the end of this street section, but luckily the Mongoose carry over onto the next street segment, except, or rather, when you don't. So if you force no weapon carryover, you're not going to. It's not going to like overwrite the Mongoose, so you can empty your SMG and still carry over the Mongoose, which is nice. And I am going to want this nade for a trick on this streets, and then the reason I'm still emptying is because, as I said, more nade tricks throughout the street segments, and then hopefully there's a really cool trick on the next one which I could hit. So far have a 100% success rate with that trick in a marathon as well. So, but right here, a lot of just movement, not much going on. Trying to get some slides off things, so yeah. And you know what? I think, depending on if we're slow enough, there might be a trick I go for here. But I think we're just going to be just slightly too fast. I say slow enough because every 2 minutes on these streets you get a checkpoint. And yeah, it looks like that brute's in the way anyway. I would have gone for a pressure launch with this, whatever you want to call that weird panel thing on the wall. Unfortunately, it's just not very viable without a checkpoint in a marathon, because it's very easy to die, and if you die without a checkpoint, that's a revert all the way to the start. So yeah, instead I opted for Jonder Slide, which is the common trick. It's named Jonder Slide after an older ODST runner, whose real name equates to Jonder. It's a combination of his first and last name, doxing on stream, but everyone already knows. And right here in this end section, we're going to be grabbing the Mongoose, and then pretty much just driving it right to the end. And hopefully there are some funny things that can happen with these brutes and the Mongoose, but such as that, it's not a huge time loss. But I have had up here in this tunnel numerous times a Mongoose gets meleeed by a brute and I just die, so hopefully that doesn't happen here. Looks like we're good. We decided to get out of the way. Just hitting this button, and yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, that was an interesting flip, but that's MS2. Now we're on the Oni Alpha site. This level, sorry, is actually a good deal longer than most of the other ones. I think it's... okay, interesting. I think it's... yeah, it is the third longest one in the game. It also involves a good deal of combat. So there's definitely a lot more optimization here than just movement. There is a bit of RNG, but it's definitely one of the bigger skill-based levels. Unfortunately, at the start there, I tried getting a variation of a debris launch using that tire, but neither of my nades affected it for some reason, so I just didn't get anything, and I actually lost time going for it, so it's a bit sad. But because of that, I'm coming over here to replenish my grenades, and it shouldn't lose me any time because this door down here is on a timer, so, and even if I was late to the door, there's another timer coming up right here. So there's going to be a dialogue queue, which I have to listen for right here, and then I'll explain what's going on.
Man coming and landing on the other side of the wall.
Alright, so right there, in that dialogue queue, when he says other side of, when he says of in that sentence, I start charging my laser, and that allows me to, unfortunately I got blocked by a grunt, that allows me to basically just line up a collat, which is pretty much 100% consistent. The only reason it doesn't work out is if a brute bubble shields, but that's one of the little combat optimizations, and that was actually a really good first clear, considering how slow the start was. Right here, this is kind of sort of on a timer. I do still need to kill, I believe, 18 enemies. I'm not sure the number. It might actually be 27 or something. Really have no clue. I just know which enemies to kill. I don't know, never bothered count them, I guess. Kill this group here, and then I'm gonna want to kill this group of enemies, and then just a few more, and that'll be good. Unfortunately, I had to reload, but not a big deal. And the timer here is pretty lenient as well. Okay, that's not the guy I was looking at. Okay. This is why brutes can be interesting enemies sometimes, because just trying to make my way in this round and... Okay, give me your... Thank you. Alright, so now I'm just gonna try and hopefully get a few more grunts. I think I'm good. Okay, yeah, definitely good now. And once you hear that dialogue, you're pretty much good to move on. So right here, we're gonna grab this turret, and this is yet another timer here before we head into the indoor section. But I want to grab this turret, get to this door, and we're gonna grab rockets behind here. And we're gonna be going for a kind of confusing. I honestly have no idea how it works. We used to think we have an idea how it works, but I actually don't think anyone knows how it works anymore. But a little dialogue skip, hopefully, I'll get. Otherwise, it's actually like 20 seconds or so. But first, I'm going for a grenade slide right here. I look this way, and I'm going to throw a grenade about there. Okay, so... Okay, the second one worked, luckily. If I didn't get that second one, it definitely would have failed. But, like I said, that actually does save quite a bit of time, because otherwise he decides to walk all the way out, and then he just sits there for like 5 seconds, and he walks back in, so... definitely a big time save right there. And now this is kind of the main clear of the mission. This is where I would say the most RNG and skill comes in, I guess. So hopefully I got left first, which is the bad RNG. It's not that big, it's just you'll see later in a certain round that enemies like to run into a kill barrier. And they don't do that as much on left first wave, so kind of sucks. Not a big deal though. It's just a few more enemies that I'll have to clean up. And then for this clear on this side, I want to grab this turret, and I want to make sure I kill just about everything. If I don't, I'll actually end up with a weird wave where essentially it splits the enemies between both sides. That should be about everything. I actually think I heard one of the brutes kill barrier, so okay, this is actually really nice because of that. So typically there's 2 more brutes than I had there, and I'm really trying to stick this. He just hit my grenade away. What a gamer. This is the Gamerhouse marathon after all, so I guess it makes sense. It's the kind of content we're looking for. But that's what, like a 456 clear, so that's actually really good, especially with the start here. And yeah, so that's the indoor clear. That was yeah, that's a really good clear for a marathon actually. So I'm happy with that. Alright, and right here I'm just gonna try and get the brute shot. It's gonna help me out a bit with a clear and a trick on the roof. Unfortunately, his brute shot ammo just decided to fly off the ledge, so hopefully I will be able to get some from another guy down here though. And I have to be a little bit careful here because these brutes tend to whack you off the side of the roof in some cases. So, as I'm sure you could guess, that's less than ideal. So I'm trying not to get knocked off. Looks like we're good though. Alright, so that's assuming, yep, that's everything. So that's it for the downstairs clear. Now we're gonna have a classic elevator auto-scroller.
That's the last of them, Dutch.
There's the dialogue. I think I lost like a lot of time there somehow. That clear was on a timer, so it's weird, but I feel like I lost a good amount of time. Not really sure. But just holding E on this button, and it's about I think it's about 30-second elevator, maybe 40, somewhere around there. Great place for a bathroom break in the middle of a run. So I'm not gonna do that here though.
Evac bird's gonna meet us on the roof.
And let's see if I can get a nair on these enemies here. A killing nair, that is, for killing, like, I screwed it up last time at the last marathon I did. I think it's 10 enemies. I think I said it was 12 last time. But there we go. We got the nair. We got 3 nairs. I think that's all the, yeah, that's all the drones. So we're too good. Competition is in shambles. And yeah, we're just waiting to get up to the roof. We're gonna have to clear things out here pretty quickly, hopefully. And then hopefully I will not fail the grenade jump into the Pelican, which you'll see. Well, hopefully you won't see me fail it at the end.
Grenade!
And that's kind of the way. There's like, this clear is pretty lenient. It's actually, I would say, pretty difficult to lose time here because you don't really need to kill everything. Like, that should be good. Yeah, so the Pelican is in, so I'm just kind of waiting for it to fly overhead. That's the timing I use. Hopefully I don't die. I'm actually a little scared of how hurt I am, so I'm only going to do 1 grenade. I lost a little bit of time there, but if I died from doing the brute shot, it would have probably killed me, so it's better to be safe than sorry. I would have lost like 20, more than 20 seconds. But we're back on streets. This is MS3. Immediately booting our SMG and getting in the Mongoose. You'll notice that the streets are pretty short now. I mean, they were kind of short to begin with, but they're all gonna be, yeah, they're all gonna be less than a minute. Hopefully this one is, if I hit a certain trick. If not, then they'll still be right around a minute. But for the most part, they're pretty quick now, especially with the Mongoose. So, also, it kind of cuts out a few of the tricks, but this one definitely does have a trick, which hopefully I'll get, because it is really cool when done properly. Oh, I guess this is another trick. This is the Tony Hawk. I did hit that. Unfortunately, I didn't flip. Never mind. That's not the trick I was talking about, though. Right here, coming up in just a second, I'm going to be going for a Mongoose Launch. Like I said, 100% success rate in a marathon for me, and looks like we're keeping the 100% success rate. Saves a decent amount of time to just grenade jumping up the typical way, which is pretty much it. The reason that's slower is because you need to do 2 grenade jumps, and you have to wait for your health. Right off the bat, though, Kazingo Boulevard, start with a trick called Rocket Car Boost, or RCB. And we're looking for that plasma pistol. Luckily we got it. And you can actually die here, even on easy, just to the brute shots, but luckily I recovered my health there, so it looks like we should be good. I'm going to use my remaining rockets to kill that guy, just instead of boarding. It saves about a second. And now we're driving the ghosts a bit to grab a beam rifle.
We got a squad of Marines pinned down, far corner of the next plaza. Get packed with
right here. And we're going to use this to get a Banshee. Now, typically you can get a Banshee at the end of this level, but we're going to get one early. And if you've played Halo 3, you might know about the AA Wraith glitch, where you shoot the driver while you're holding the enter button, and you're able to get in. So this is probably definitely one of the bigger run killers, but hopefully we'll get it. Looks good so far. Okay, that's a 2 cycle, which is really good for full game. And now we're flying up this wall. There's a little hole in the elastic barrier right there. Luckily we're able to just get through. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That was actually really fast for full game. So yeah, it's really nice. There's a bit of RNG here in this end fight. Looks like... yeah, that's kind of bad RNG, about average. A little below average, I'd say. But this is pretty much on a timer, so there's not a whole lot going on. I just have to make sure I'm killing enemies kind of as fast as possible, and hopefully I'll be good. But looks like that should be everything. And even in this, so there's 2 waves here. In this first wave, you can leave like 10 enemies alive and you'll be fine, but looks like that's everything. So yeah, looks good. And now we're just waiting for the second wave. It's about probably 10 seconds out. Same deal there, except we do need to kill every single enemy, and assuming I do that, shouldn't lose any more time. Although I talk about losing more time, but I think this Kazingo should put me on PB pace technically, so fun fact. Alright. So it's pretty much the same deal, just backwards. You have like a grunt and jackal wave to start, and then brutes and grunts, and then no wraith this time, but a few jackals here. And I'm gonna check my map in just a second to make sure that's everything. Yeah, looks like we're good. So that's the level. We're pretty much just gonna sit here at the end, and looks like that should be a 318, which very good for full game. So I'm definitely happy with that. And there we go, 317 actually, very cool. So now we're on to MS4. There is a bit of RNG here. I'm going to be hopefully getting a ghost, which, as I said, RNG. If not, it's about 10 seconds of time loss, but wouldn't be the biggest deal. Just to start out with, I'm going for grenade slide. Unfortunately, I always hit this bar. I kind of suck at that trick, but it still saved me some time. Emptied my SMG. Even if I didn't empty my SMG, it's not a big deal, because we're only carrying grenades into the very last level now, so it's pretty much fine. But coming up here in just a second, around this next corner, hopefully there will be a ghost. There is not. That makes 21 runs in a row that I haven't had the 50-50 chance. It is, as far as we know, 50-50 chance. I mean, that's what the code says, and 21 runs in a row, I have not had a ghost, so very cool. It might actually be the 20th run, I'm not sure. I had a marathon last week, and that's basically the last time I played the game. I didn't have it there either, and that was either 19th or 20th.
What about all those Covenant we sidestepped on the way up?
But this is NMPD HQ, very cool level here. Starts out with some movement, and then the end fight is pretty technical.
I'm really digging all these stairs.
Decent amount of RNG involved, but hopefully all will go well. One thing I will say about this level is that the music is, in my opinion, probably the best in the series. Especially you'll see in the end fight. I just think it arguably has the best soundtrack in the series, so hopefully you guys will enjoy. Right here I'm just looking to get this frag grenade that'll hopefully help me with the cone launch. You actually saw me do a cone launch at the start of this level, so sorry I forgot to mention that. Essentially it's just a debris launch with a cone. And you'll see those here on this level and on Data Hive, which is a few levels from now. But right here, Just trying to throw a spike grenade at this coil, which blows it up in a good time. Almost got the collat, but I don't even think you can get a collat there, to be honest. I actually want to make sure this guy dies, otherwise he'll delay a checkpoint. Which, if that were to happen here, that could be very deadly. Hopefully not, but... Okay, so that was another Coil Launch. Not as powerful as I would have liked, but it serves two purposes. Not only does it get me the cure faster, but it also skips 2 extra Banshees. And this end fight basically depends on how many Banshees you kill, so the fact that I skipped those just kind of helps out a bit with the fight. Unfortunately, I'm unable to aim. It's a little bit of a personal issue. Okay, he's not dead. Okay, still not. Oh my gosh, how... Okay, I'm losing so much time here, actually, because enemies didn't want to die, but there we go. Looks like center first, which is not the worst. Ideally, you get right, center, left. That's the ideal rotation. I was not trusting that guy. He's still doing some weird stuff, so... for this wave, I need to kill, I believe, 5 Banshees. I've killed 2 so far, and they're all hiding behind a building, which is actually very, very bad. So I think I'll kill that one, and then I don't see any more, so I'm just gonna kill this. And it's already too late, so that's really bad. Like, that's part of the RNG that comes into play. And of course, as you can see, now that it's flying away, they decide to show themselves. Very typical NMPD. And hopefully that should be enough dead to spawn the next wave, but I've already lost quite a bit of time here, which really sucks, because, well, it was basically, like, entirely RNG. Not even joking. Right here, this is called Auto Scroller Wave, because this one is pretty much the only one that's not RNG. These Phantoms are predictable and always do the same stuff pretty much, so we just want to kill all the stuff. Unfortunately, that guy didn't die. Doesn't really matter, but I just like to kill him because he can screw things up a little later. And my wave is still not in, which is a little alarming. Okay, so it looks like it'll be left last. So this does have a redemption value, potentially. I also hear another brute, and I don't know why he's not dead yet. Okay, he's dead as soon as I shoot the rocket, I guess. And right now, this wave, we pretty much only want to laser Banshees. We really don't want to kill the Phantom at all, just because there's so many, and again, you can only have like 2 alive at the end of it, so... And this is our last laser. If you didn't notice, each laser has 5 charges, and they blow it up anyway, so that's more time loss, but not the worst thing in the world, I suppose. More RNG time loss at that. Okay, I think... Yeah, there we go. That was a nice voice crack there. Okay, so... Same deal here. Pretty much just want to leave as many Banshees, or as little Banshees alive as possible, rather. I'm saving my laser because there's these 4 ones which are hopefully easy to kill. That looks like we got those. We can kill the first Phantom here. And then I want to laser probably this guy. And then I want to see if that guy gets in range. He's going to turn, of course. And if I kill this guy, I'll kill this Phantom. Okay, so we got him. So once I can lock on, if I can lock on. Okay, so hopefully that'll instantly spawn this last wave in. Yeah, it's in. I have to be a little careful here, otherwise I'll soft lock. Just shooting the engine too quickly will soft lock you. Luckily, you pretty much have a consistent timing, which I hit. And you know you get soft locked if you don't get that jetpacks dialogue, but 543 NMPD is not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely, like, I'm pretty sad about that because of how much time I lost just at the start. But the wave fight itself went pretty well, I'd say. Now, of course, like I said, we do not have a ghost, so we're losing about 10 seconds. here and on the next streets, but it's not the worst thing in the world. This one is pretty cut and dry, not much going on, just kind of driving to the end, so yeah. And this driving is actually a little bit, I wouldn't say hard, but technical maybe, because the route between taking a ghost and a mongoose in terms of which poles you could go behind, for example, is a bit different. And like hitting one of those weird like the things with stripes in the middle, the barriers, hitting one of those can either flip you or just do nothing. So you want to be a little careful with that. But this is Kikowani Station. Definitely a very technical level. Pretty quick, hopefully anyway. Nice out of bounds tricks here, which are pretty new. Hopefully I hit them first try. But instantly we're going to be shooting these brute feet. Hopefully killing him. Got him. Okay, and then once I'm up here, we're going to shoot one grunt. That just gets this Phantom to lift off a bit earlier. And we're going to use this Phantom to push us out of bounds. So I'm coming back here to hopefully get a checkpoint, which I got. And there's another dialogue cue here, so I have to focus just a little bit, and then I'll get back to it. Okay, and I was way too early, but it still worked, so we're fine. Oh my god, that was the biggest save of all time. Okay, I have no idea how I pulled that off, because I was way early, and it flipped in such a weird way. But oh no, okay, once again saved. Okay, so sorry, where was I? These Phantom out of bounds, as they're called, essentially you're using the Phantom to push you out of bounds. Just trying to delay a checkpoint right here, and the way this landed is kind of crappy, but it's fine. Right here we're shooting this, and that gets us to lift off, and we're doing something similar to the last one, but not the same. Hopefully we get it first try. This one is a bit harder, I'd say. Got it, though. And those are the Phantom out of bounds. So to break it down for you, essentially what that is the Phantom pushes you past the elastic barrier, and once it pushes you a certain point, the elastic barrier just kind of doesn't care anymore. And also, if you didn't notice, what I'm doing with flipping, that's called Slinky Flipping. It's somewhat new tech, coming from Reach, actually. Saves almost a second per flip, I believe. But that's pretty much the level, and all things considered, like, even with that hiccup at the start, well, near hiccup, this is actually a really good Kiko. So, definitely happy with that. Back on PB pace, in fact. 214 is very good, though. So now, MS6, this is the fastest quote-unquote level in the series. Should only hopefully be 18 seconds. With the Ghost, it's 15. But I'm just using that grenade, because it helps me with pacing things out a bit on the next level. Because the next level, Data Hive, we will be carrying over our grenades. And if you remember, I think I said at the start, Data Hive and Coastal, which are the last two levels, this is Data Hive, make up about half of the game, so yeah. But this level is a lot of movement. There is combat at the end. It's actually, I mean, I wouldn't say I particularly like it, personally, but I know, like, from a more unbiased standpoint, you know, people who aren't bad at it, like me, it really is a pretty well-balanced level, because there's a lot of movement, there's a really cool trick. There's technically out of bounds if you want to do that, but it's the worst thing in the world. And there's combat, so it's pretty much got a little bit of everything. It doesn't have any vehicles, I guess, but it is definitely, like, this level is a lot harder than it seems at face value, I will say. Like I said, I'm pretty bad at it personally, at least in comparison to some runners, but like, there's just a lot going on here, which doesn't seem... It really just... It's a lot of micro that adds up. I think that's how I'd put it. Just a lot of little movement tech, which really just... Yeah, like I said, it adds up, so... going for a little grenade slide. Unfortunately, my timing was off, so I didn't really get a boost. That would have been, you know, half a second probably. Not huge, but... and we're pretty much trying to get a slide jump, like, just about everywhere. Because, as you'll see, there's so many slopes, and... as you saw in the streets levels, we want to get slide jump just about everywhere possible. And I went a little bit out of my way to grab that plasma grenade. Because I do want to have pretty much as many plasma grenades as possible throughout this level and into the next one.
Thanks, Trooper. They almost had me.
But essentially,
Trying to get down to the next level.
the premise of this level is some sort of allegory to Dante's Inferno. I don't know anything about it, but if Too Easy was here, he would explain it. Go give him a follow on Twitch. He's a Halo lore nerd. You could ask him about it if you want, but essentially you're going down these different levels to find Dare, and Dare is basically the person in charge of your mission, and once we find her, we're going to regroup with the rest of the squad, and all will be well. Unfortunately, these guys are kind of hiding. In the end, luckily I was able to get some flame grenades, which are very rare in the game, but very useful for an upcoming clear. And 2 should hopefully be enough. You can only hold 3 grenades, I don't think I mentioned. 3 of each type, rather. And ideally, obviously, you get 3, but 2 is better than 1, and 1 is better than none kind of situation. And again, I'm just trying to get some plasma grenades. Unfortunately, these grunts really aren't dropping many. I also want to kill these brutes just because they like to block you. And brutes in this game, when they block you, are just so obnoxious. So, yeah. And then right here, this is pretty much going to be the last drop down. Looks like we got everything, and we're full on plasma grenades, which is nice. No spike grenades, but I don't really use those for the clear anyway. Why is he so far back? Oh my gosh, that is a lot of time loss, actually. Usually he's supposed to teleport, but I guess he didn't. That actually really sucks, wow.
You're going down to level 9.
Okay, that's like 15 seconds of time loss or so, just kind of out of the blue. Not really seen that, but not a big deal. Tried to get a little slide jump off there, I did. Ideally you go all the way to the door. That was good enough, I'd say. And these guys are aggro right away, which is not very common, so maybe that has something to do with him teleporting late. I'm going to be going for one more cone launch here before I get into the final, well, not final, but I guess mid-level clear. And this mid-level clear is pretty technical, and hopefully I do it well. It's a really nice cone launch, actually, that's like perfect. Could be a little bit faster, but too much faster and you just splatter on the wall, so better than nothing for sure. So I'm going to be throwing grenades at certain positions, hopefully just making sure I kill just about everyone here, because these guys really like to just hide in certain places, which are hard to get. I think we're good. Nope, okay, this is exactly what I was talking about. There's one guy, just 2 guys actually, just hiding right there.
Welcome. Access granted.
So there you go, that's why that clear is pretty technical. That was actually really unfortunate. So far the RNG is just not relented, but we're all good. So yeah, that's like the mid-level cutscene, I guess. We got Dare now. We're headed down to get Virgil, who's an alien, who's on our side. And there's a cool trick on the way and some combat, so... but pretty much right here, it's mainly just going to be some movement. I'm going to be going for one more cone launch. Hopefully they'll get it. Well, I might not, because it's kind of RNG, because sometimes this brute will run in the way. It looks like maybe he's not, and maybe he is. Okay, he got right in the way. I jumped. Okay, so what happened there is I jumped right over the cone as he got out of the way. So basically, I could have hit that, and instead, I didn't. So good job, me. Okay, now we're dropping down. movement section is almost over. There's one cool trick coming up in just a second, called D-Route. Shout out to Drunk Sniper. It's a rather new trick, I mean, relative to some other things, but you'll see in just a second. It's basically going to save like 30 seconds, skipping a whole combat/movement section. Looking over here to teleport there. That's exactly what I wanted to avoid by teleporting there. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, otherwise that happens, but apparently it happened anyway. So, that's pretty cool. Alright, so we're gonna be going for D-Route. Shout out to Drunk Sniper. Saves about 30 seconds. I believe anyway. Thank you for hitting me, Brute. Okay, there's no way she's gonna do it this time, so we're good. Alright, so this is the way this trick works is I'm going to shoot this with a Brute shot 6 times. And that gets it just damage enough that a grenade will explode it. Now, the grenade's explosion coupled with the explosion of this barrier is going to launch me like you'll see here. Pretty much all the way to the top here. And like I said, saves about 30 seconds. Otherwise you'd have to ride an elevator, and there's drones, which it helps especially on Legendary because, you know, less combat equals more speed because things kill you on ledge. But I think the only AI that's killed me in this game, in this run anyway, has been friendly AI. So, I'm actually not gonna lie, I would say that your allies kill you more often than enemies in easy. But this is kind of where the movement section ceases. There's gonna be a clear right here, which hopefully will go well. I've lost a minute due to a lot of really funny things happening. But we're good. So I'm gonna basically shoot this guy right in that animation, backsmack him, and shoot that guy. And then with that dialogue, okay, this is just sad, honestly, at this point. I'm just getting really unlucky, to be honest. What was supposed to happen is I was supposed to knock her in the air, but because she was jumping up on a box, the box decided to knock her down onto the ground. And if she was in the air, it would have skipped dialogue, skipped her walking all the way there, but I guess the game just doesn't want me to go fast. So you could use the gravity hammer there to boost, in case you didn't notice. And this is kind of the more important clear of the two. Well, they're about equal. This one we're just trying to kill pretty much everything as fast as possible. I also am hoping that I'll get a few plasma grenades at least here. Doesn't look... Okay, I did, actually. And we're gonna use my hammer here. That didn't kill anything. The reason I'm being a little careful is because, like I said, I need these plasma grenades, so I don't want to use them. I'll be getting some ammo here. And about a minute faster, this would be really nice, but since I lost a minute, it's really sad. So we're just killing these drones here, and a bit of an auto-scroller coming up. Not really an auto-scroller, just a little waiting period with some dialogue, so...
Whoa, easy does it, rookie.
Walk into a trigger there, gets the AI to advance, and then I'm going to be setting up a trick here. Hopefully I get it. It's a really cool trick when pulled off properly. Okay, I don't know why this always happens to me. I need to get this coil up here. Good. Okay. And I need to rotate it. Not like that. Okay. Can it tip over, dude? Oh my gosh. Okay. So while we're waiting on the dialogue, we're setting the spool up to do a little launch with the hammer, and hopefully we'll be able to get it. This needs to be repositioned though. Okay, so this dialogue starts pretty much like a 40-second dialogue. This is a really sad, like, I can't get over how sad this data hive is, but it's not a big deal. Run overall is still pretty solid.
Well, maybe one or two.
But
nice work.
How was I supposed to know?
So right here, we're going to try and go for a little hammer launch like so. Saves a little bit of time. Ideally, you get all the way up here, but that wasn't a very powerful launch. I think it was set up a little improperly. Now I'm looking back to teleport Virgil right now, and basically teleports him into the elevator instead of having to wait for him. So, very cool. Now we're into Coastal Highway, last level of the game. Also the longest, and also the longest in the series. So, yeah. It also has a very
How about you hang back?
non-beginner friendly trick.
Agreed. I'll stay with the asset, give it close cover.
That is very daunting to new runners. And I wouldn't say it's the hardest thing in the series. It's definitely the hardest thing in the game, and it is probably it's definitely up there in terms of being hardest in the series, but it saves 4 minutes. This level before it was found, what just happened? I was trying to jump over him. Before it was found, this level's individual level world record was 1710, and now with it, it is 1337, and that is the actual number, by the way. But if I get out of bounds first try with it, which you'll see, hopefully, it'll save quite a bit of time. So, wish me luck here. There's a bit of RNG involved, but it's also quite a precise trick. There's actually 2 hard, well, technically 3 hard parts to it. So, we'll see it in just a minute.
This way.
I'm just going to push Virgil here. Gets him a bit closer to this door, which he needs to open for us.
Sit tight.
Now we're just holding E as soon as this little timer is over. Hit the door, and we're on our way.
Take the wheel, rookie.
So this trick is called Highway Skip. Essentially what it allows us to do is we're going to get out of bounds with 2 warthogs. The first one is going to be for us to drive out of bounds, and the second one is going to be for us to use to get out of bounds. The reason is if you use the first one, or rather, if you run into the soft barrier with a vehicle, it'll get stuck in bounds, and there's almost nothing you can do to get it out. So, yeah. This first launch is kind of the hardest part. I don't like how many enemies are around, but hopefully nothing runs in the way. And hopefully this goes well. Okay, that's a revert, so each revert here is about 40 seconds. And this is the hard part of the trick for sure. What really sucked there is I took so much damage, and the more damage you take in the why is he not? Oh my gosh. Okay. The more damage you take in the Warthog, the worse it is to get out of bounds. Luckily, the fuel rod guy did end up dying, but this is just really unlucky, to be honest. Okay, I want to line up here. They're still shooting. Why are they're so aggro? I swear, they are like actually so aggro. I've never seen them like this. On easy, anyway. Okay, I need to get Buck off because otherwise he does funny things.
Covenant must have shut these doors. Give
Try it again.
a second to override the lock. That's it. Moving on.
That's probably not good enough, so that's another revert. I don't know what's going on. These enemies are being very, like, they're acting super aggro, which is not good because, I just don't know why. It really adds a lot of extra factors in. Like, typically they just kind of leave you alone. Hopefully we're good now, but look, like, they're all running down here, which is bad because they shoot the Warthog, which moves it out of position. Hopefully third time's a charm here. Look, this looks better. Looks like they're not all right here, so I hear one guy though. Okay, and that's just not good enough. I think the reason this isn't working is because I'm getting shot by the fuel rod, so I'm going to try a little bit of a different strat here. If I get Buck off, it'll hopefully basically just get the enemies to not really do much. So yeah. He missed, so I'm going to have to get out and shoot him. It's a bit slower, but The enemies shouldn't be all coming over here now, which is at least okay, except they are.
I'm doing the best I
And the
can.
guy's hiding.
Just stay out of our way.
I really need to shoot this fuel rod guy. Okay, but I'm not going to be able to, so just have to wing it, I guess. This is just really unlucky, to be honest. Okay, I think that should be good.
Covenant must have shut these doors. Give the engineer
Okay,
a second to override the lock.
yeah, that's good. So now I need to get one more plasma grenade.
That's it.
I also need to clear just about all the enemies out of the area, because they're going to delay a checkpoint, which I need to hit the second launch. Now, the second launch is much better because not only is it arguably easier, it's not as precise, I would say, but you also get a checkpoint right here, so you won't have to revert for like a 2-minute loss. But I'm just delaying a bit here to get in position. Looks good, look up, and I throw 3 grenades for this one. And I might not get it first try. I might be good.
What just happened?
Okay, so I did get it first try. As you can see, that one is much better, so we drive it out of bounds like that, and now we're out. So that's definitely the worst part of the trick. Once you're out of bounds, it's okay. Once you're out of bounds, I just don't want it to get stuck in this crevice here. Okay, once you're out of bounds, you have to go drive and hit a bunch of triggers, essentially. And you'll see a lot of the triggers are just kind of drive through the middle, but about half of them you have to do some special stuff. So this first one, we're pretty much just going to drive through the middle. And oh yeah, something I always forget to mention is if you don't hit them in the specific spots, you teleport back in bounds, and a lot of the time you get a checkpoint right there, so you have to double revert. And double reverting is essentially you have to kill yourself 5 times really fast, so that's just even more time loss. So that first one is the middle. This one we have to hit a load, and then we're going to drive through the middle. There's only 2 where we have to hit a load. This is the first of 2. Essentially we just jump out and hit right there and jump back in. Now, as I said, drive through the middle. And this next one coming up is going to be another one where we have to, or rather the first one where we have to hit in a little bit of a different spot. So what we're going to do is, instead of driving into the middle, I'm going to drive all the way to the end here pretty much, and get out about here. Hopefully it doesn't slide too far, which looks like we're good. Hit it right there, then we could get back in, and that's that trigger. Now these next 2, once again, are going to be middle, so not a whole lot going on here. Just gonna pretty much do the same stuff. Okay, that was really close. I nearly teleported. If I hit that wall, I probably would have drifted into the trigger and teleported, and by avoiding the wall, I nearly went off to the side. So, and unfortunately you cannot skip this driving segment, but I will tell you this is much better than what it used to be, where you you basically were ramming Dare's dump truck for 15 minutes. So this is much better, believe me. And like I said, this one specifically doesn't save anywhere near 4 minutes, but
Scarab.
I see it. Must have dropped
if I got out first try, we would be in pretty good shape here.
It hasn't spotted us.
So this next one is pretty special. I'm actually going to try to drive through it, hopefully. I don't really have to worry about this Scarab, but some people are a little scared of it, that it'll hit them or something. It's not even solid, but pretty much looks good. So, you hit it if Buck, you see Buck's little icon teleport, or you get teleported. That one is kind of difficult, but it's getting more and more consistent. At least I'm getting more and more consistent at it. And this next one, we have to hit a load, and we have to hit it in a special way. So, This load is a bit different, so we're going to actually hit it from down here instead. And get back in, and then we have to go all the way down again. This one you cannot drive through. They just shot... Okay, they shot me too much. That really sucks. Right as I got out, the Banshees decided to shoot at my Warthog and accelerate it quite a bit, so... I guess I'll take it a bit safer here. Slow down a bit sooner. So this one you can't hit as far up, and it's a little bit more precise, I'd say. You have to hit it lower. And wow, I can't move. Okay. And there's that one. This next one is quite different from the rest. But it's still pretty easy. So you might see to my left there's this giant dome thing cut off, like with a cut off top. So pretty much just driving all the way over here, and we're gonna kind of dip down and drift into a trigger, hopefully without going too fast, and hopefully without teleporting. Okay, I'm taking it a bit safe too, because you don't really get a checkpoint like at all. So there we go, that's that one. Pretty much just driving to the end now. There's only one more which could be classified as like quote-unquote stressful, but even then, this next one coming up here, we're just gonna drive through it, and it's pretty lenient. The first one I drove through isn't as lenient, or rather the first one that's not just middle isn't as lenient, but this one you could it's really hard to miss, I'd say. Watch me miss it right here. Okay, there we go. Looks good. And the next one we have to hit in the middle, and then after that we're pretty much done. So this next one also does technically have a load, except the load is like the load plane, it's a trigger, so the load trigger is pretty much just in our path, so we don't actually have to get out. You'll see I'll hit it right about here. Yeah, like that. Just run through the middle, and then this next one is the last one. You still have to hit the trigger technically, but you don't have to hit it in any specific spot since it doesn't teleport you. So we're pretty much just going to drive around the outside and drop back in to the highway. So I want to be a little bit careful because that checkpoint could kind of screw you over. And right here, hopefully I land on my wheels. Looks good. And now I'm going to be trying to rocket my Warthog over this barrier, saving another few seconds. Looks good. There's a soft barrier too, which makes it a bit harder, but luckily that strat we could have done before out of bounds as well. No one just thought of it. But just rocket it over. And now we're pretty much into the end fight, so yeah. Once Buck teleports, we're pretty much on an auto-scroller. I mean, it really isn't an auto-scroller because you can lose time somewhat easily, but we're going to... Oh my gosh. Okay, that's bad, actually. I'm trying to push this out of the way a little bit, and then we're going to push Dare with the Warthog, which this is what the main thing that saves time for sure. Right here. Of course, instead of her walking, because the advancement of this, the end fight depends on her reaching the top, and my Warthog just decided to flip, which made no sense to me. But yeah, so now there's 4 Phantoms. Pretty simple. We know how to clear each of them. I'm probably pretty bad, but for the most part they're rather lenient. I would say it's, like I said, it's not impossible to lose time here, but oh, I thought that was a grunt body, I guess. Does the brute have shields? Is the brute alive? Oh, he is. Okay. So I don't think I lost any time there. Yeah, we're definitely good. It's pretty much once the Phantom despawns is when you start losing time in the end fight, so that's fine though. Now this next wave I want to be a little bit careful with, because if I kill an enemy too early, it'll actually pretty much soft lock. So especially for a marathon, I want to take it a little bit safe. And this one is all jackals, so pretty easy to clear. But about then I throw a plasma, and then I rocket. Just kind of clear up the rest. I don't know why I picked up a plasma pistol. But... And this one isn't that worrisome because there's another wave, or another phantom in the wave. I'm missing my shots while... There's one more jackal right there I need to kill. Okay, not losing any time though, luckily. Can't believe I missed all those shots. And I'm looking for one more beam rifle. This fuel rod as well. I don't think there's going to be another beam rifle though. I think they might have all despawned, which kind of sucks. Not the worst thing in the world though. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any other beam rifles, unfortunately. So we'll just go with this one. So we're just like carrying this fuel rod over. Pretty much because I'm going to use these 2 rockets and then just drop the rocket launcher in lieu of the beam rifle. And we're hopefully just going to clear this first wave on this side, like right away, really quick. And this one is probably, I wouldn't say it's easy to lose time, but it's definitely, you can lose time on this wave pretty, not frequently, but it can happen. Just brutes being weird and also missing shots. Okay, got the chieftain. I disagree that that was a miss. Okay, so I think there's probably 2 more chieftains. Oh, or 1. He's right here. Oh, or there are 2. Okay, so coming up on time. That phantom deloads, and then we get our allies to spawn in. So about 40 seconds from now. But yeah, that's the run. So I can actually still lose time to something called getting shawned, which hopefully won't happen. I'm going to look at the tiger to ensure that it doesn't. So there's a very high resolution tiger picture, also a panda picture, but the panda is a lie. Look at the tiger instead, it's cooler. So I don't think I got shawned there, luckily. But yeah, coming up on time, right?
Go, rookie. Head for the
Nice tiger,
now.
by the way. GG.
Yep.
Good
that's Halo
run.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely beat estimate. The reason I put the 118 estimate, by the way, is because the first marathon I did of this game, I failed that first trick for 10 minutes, and I thought I was well on the way there, so I was just being a little safe, but I guess it also makes up for the last run, so...
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to give a few shoutouts if that's cool.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Yeah, so shout out to HaloRuns.com. If you're looking to get involved in the Halo speedrunning scene or learning, whether that's learning, looking at times, or just following, HaloRuns.com, pretty much your all-in-one source for Halo speedruns. If you join the HaloRuns Discord, which can be found on the website or HaloRuns.com/Discord, we have links to pretty much every single trick. You can get in contact with all the runners. Pretty much everyone is willing to help, so I definitely recommend all the Halo games to speedrun. Like, pretty much all of them are good, to be honest, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're really cool. Maybe I could show off BPL. Is it cool if I try showing off one trick here?
Yeah, go for it. We have time.
Alright. Yeah. It's a, so this is a very segmented strat, and there's no way I'm gonna hit it, but I'm gonna try and show you basically what it is. Let's see, I think it's this one. And I'm going to use a trainer that we use for, actually I need to re-download the trainer really quick, shouldn't take long though.
Alright, so I'm gonna skip this cutscene and then I'm gonna turn a speed hack on, which will just allow me to get there a bit quicker. Quite a bit quicker, as you can see. Okay, and I'm actually gonna turn it off here because this is where it can get screwed up
Are you
if I leave it
hacking?
on. I am. It's called speed
Oh my
hack for a
God.
reason. So.
Banned.
But right here, let me actually close my splits really quick, otherwise they're gonna do weird things. So right here, I'm gonna go ahead and make a custom checkpoint in just a second. So like right here probably. And essentially these AI are in an animation where, okay, that's not a good show, but if you basically get in the way of them when they do their animation, you just get launched in all sorts of weird ways. And what we found in Segmented, like you'll see I'm just dying because you just get launched that fast. Maybe I could get one where I don't just die, but these are all really fast. What we found is that in Segmented, you're able to launch pretty much above the world, and you can launch all the way to the end of the level almost. See, that one I didn't die, but it wasn't super fast. It was also backwards. But essentially, like this, as you can tell, this is pretty much only Segmented, because it's really, like, I'm dying pretty much every time, so. Also, Hark, I'm not really leaking because everyone already knows about it. So.
You know about it.
Yeah.
I'm
just
feeling
a
this for
pretty cool little
segment.
thing. Oh yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like if you get it all the way, it launches you pretty much like literally to the end of the level, which if you remember this level specifically, it was like 250 almost, so oh, that was actually that, see, like I've hit stuff like that in full game before, just trying to save a run.
Oh shit.
So
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. I want to see if I get one really good one. Oh my wow.
God, that's
okay.
so cool though.
That was almost
seriously.
really good.
Yeah, if you would have gone around the whole wall corner there, you could have launched all the way. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this is... Maybe I'm onto something here. I'm making it viable.
Alright, let's see it.
But
ODST DS, right here.
I'm not dying, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, either way, it's just a little cool strat Dice suggested, so I figured why not show it off. So...
Yeah, ain't too bad.
yeah, once again, HaloRuns.com, all your Halo speedrunning needs. Join the Discord if you want to get into it. People are there free, trying to help and stuff, so yeah, that's all I got, so.
Yeah, I can definitely back up HaloRuns being one of the greatest websites in existence.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
with Hark's blessing, I would show Segmented on stream. At least, just the launch, if I could really quick.
Yeah, if we can get it in the next couple minutes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not?
Let me go find it really quick. I'm just gonna show the launch because there are a few other things which I don't really want to show, but.
Alright, yeah, we'll link Segmented.
Yep.
This is great. Never before seen footage of the top secret Halo 3 ODST done segmented project.
Well, it's not top secret because Hark shows it to everyone anyway. So.
Oh shit. Well.
Yeah. Okay. Here, let's see if I. Can I just... Here, let's just do this. Alright. So, right here. Nice redirect too. Like I said, all the way to the end. Like, it's insane.
No, it's not showing whatever you're trying to...
Oh my gosh, I didn't show it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was like, wait, did it freeze?
Alright, yeah, let's try this again. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Nice. So this is the best case scenario, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right, bro? Oh. What the fuck?
like literally all the way to the end.
So cool.
But yeah.
Nice.
So once again, yeah, thanks for having me for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for coming out and showing one of the first games I ever really speedran.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's all I got. So
All right, next up we got some Enter the Matrix by Two Worlds. So look forward to